All right, so get this. You guys shared a bunch of really cool stuff with us about the science of love, like articles and research and even like personal notes,
Yeah.
all kind of pointing to this like basic human need we all have to like connect with each other.
Right.
So today we are going deep on this guy named Harry Harlow and his research
Right.
with Rhesus monkeys.
Interesting.
So picture this. It's the middle of the 20th century, and the main idea about love back then was that it was like this side effect of needing to survive.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, you feed me, I stick around.
Makes sense.
But Harlow, he had a feeling that there was something more to it, something way more fundamental.
Yeah. Harlow's really interesting because he was working when behaviorism was like the main thing in psychology.
Right.
You know, everything was about like stimulus and response and rewards and punishments.
Uh-huh.
But Harlow, he started noticing that the baby monkeys in his lab were getting really attached to like these cloth pads they had in their cages.
Oh.
Yeah, he saw them like clinging to the pads and getting super upset when they were taken away.
Really?
And he thought, what if this need for comfort and contact? Like, what if that's like a basic drive all on its own, just as strong as like being hungry or thirsty?
Wow.
Yeah.
So to like test this theory, he designed this really clever experiment.
Okay.
So he created 2 fake moms for these baby monkeys.
2 fake moms.
Yeah. So one was made of wire, but it had a bottle of milk attached to it.
Okay.
And the other one was covered in like the soft terry cloth, but it didn't have any food.
Oh, interesting.
So it was like this ultimate test, right? Food or comfort?
Right.
What would these little monkeys go for?
So what happened?
Well, the results were pretty amazing, and they kind of went against what the behaviorists believed.
Yeah.
So no matter which mom fed them the monkeys, they spent most of their time hanging out with the cloth mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they would only go to the wire mom for a quick meal, and then they'd run right back to the soft, comfy one.
Huh. So they like needed the calories, but they really wanted to cuddle.
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
And it wasn't just about like feeling good either. Harlow found that this contact comfort, like he called it, had a huge impact on how they acted and how they developed.
Okay. Yeah. So what did he do?
Well, he would put these scary things in the cages with the monkeys, like a toy that would suddenly move and make noise to see how they would react.
Oh, wow. I bet that was scary for them.
Yeah. And what he saw was fascinating.
What did he see?
So imagine a room full of baby monkeys that were raised by these 2 totally different moms.
Okay.
So this scary toy appears, and every single monkey, no matter which mom fed them, they all run straight to the cloth mom.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, they found comfort and safety in her softness, even if she'd never given them any milk.
So it's like this deep need for comfort and protection is stronger than anything else.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it wasn't just about finding safety when they were scared. Harlow noticed something else, too, when he put the monkeys in a completely new environment. He called it the open field test, where he basically made a room full of toys and stuff for them to explore.
Oh, that's cool. So what happened? Did they play with the toys?
Well, the monkeys that grew up with the cloth mom, they were like little explorers. Yeah, they would go out and check out the tools, and then every once in a while, they'd run back to their cloth mom for reassurance before going back to the toys.
Ah.
Yeah, it was like having that safe base made them brave enough to be curious and take risks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the monkeys that were only raised with the wire mom, they were different.
Oh, so what did they do?
They pretty much just clung to the edges of the room they were too scared to explore.
Oh, poor little guys.
It's almost like they never had that early comfort, so they felt insecure and couldn't really engage with the world around them.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's where Harlow's work gets really interesting.
Okay, how so?
He starts connecting these behaviors to something deeper, something more than just simple conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he suggests that this early experience of feeling safe and secure, it's actually shaping their brains.
Really?
Yeah, and it's laying the foundation for how they develop emotionally and socially.
Wow, that's fascinating.
And this is where Harlow's work takes like this really fascinating turn, you know?
Huh?
It's not just about monkeys anymore. Like, he starts to apply his findings to humans and like how we understand how kids develop and like that whole attachment thing.
So like before Harlow, the main idea was that babies just needed like the physical stuff.
Right.
Like food and shelter and, being clean.
Uh-huh.
But Harlow showed that emotional connection and touch were just as important.
Yeah.
He proved, like scientifically, that things like hugs and cuddles and that feeling of warmth and safety from a parent,
Right.
those are super crucial.
It's like he gave scientific proof for something that parents have always known.
Totally.
Like that instinct to pick up your crying baby and hold them close.
Yeah, it's like he validated that.
Yeah.
And that understanding changed how we think about childcare, like big time.
Right. Like think about how things have changed to things like skin-to-skin contact with newborns. Or like how important it is to create those secure attachments in early childhood.
That's right. Harlow helped us understand that babies need a secure base to explore the world from.
Yeah.
They need to feel safe and loved to be brave enough to go out and learn and grow.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and this has impacted like everything from how parents raise their kids to adoption policies, even to like how hospital nurseries are designed.
It's interesting, though, because when you look at Harlow's experiments, they can seem pretty extreme.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Like separating baby monkeys from their moms and raising them with those fake moms.
Right.
It makes you think about, like, how far we're willing to go for science, you know?
Definitely. Harlow's work started a lot of debate about the ethics of using animals in research.
Uh-huh.
And it's a conversation that's still going on today. It's like, how do we balance the good that can come from scientific discoveries with the well-being of the animals?
Yeah.
It's tough. There are no easy answers.
What's really remarkable, though, is that Harlow himself, he really cared about kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he saw how his research could help create better and more humane ways to care for children, especially in places like orphanages and hospitals.
Right. Back then, those places, they mostly focused on just the physical needs of the kids.
Exactly.
But Harlow, he was like, no, babies need way more than just a clean crib and food.
Yeah.
He was like, we need more human interaction, cuddling, holding, creating environments where they feel safe and attached.
He was really challenging what people thought back then.
Yeah.
Like pushing for a more nurturing and responsive way of caring for kids.
Exactly. And this wasn't just about moms either.
Oh, right.
Harlow's work helped break the idea that only women could provide this kind of emotional care. He showed how important fathers, adoptive parents, and other caregivers could be in creating that bond with a child.
Wow.
Yeah, his research showed that anyone, no matter their gender, could provide that crucial comfort and build a strong, loving connection.
That was like a radical idea back then.
It really was.
It's crazy to think how much our understanding of parenting has changed because of his work.
Yeah.
But Harlow's findings, they weren't just about good parent-child relationships either.
Right.
He also shed light on some of the darker sides of being human.
Oh, how so?
Especially when it comes to abusive relationships.
Oh, wow. Yeah, tell me more about that.
So this is where his research gets really interesting.
Okay.
Harlow noticed that even when the fake monkey mom was abusive.
Abusive.
Yeah, she was designed to poke the baby monkey or make sudden movements to scare it.
Oh, yeah.
Even then, the baby would still cling to her.
Really?
Yeah, desperately trying to find comfort and security.
That's wild.
It's like that deep need for connection, that feeling of belonging.
Yeah.
It was so powerful that it outweighed the bad experiences.
Wow. So it's like their need to be close was stronger than their fear.
Exactly. And this research helped people start to understand why kids in abusive situations might still be attached to their abuser.
Right. It's not about saying the abuse is okay.
Right.
It's about recognizing that attachment can be really complicated and messy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not just about rewards and punishments. Sometimes those deep needs for connection and safety can make people act in ways that don't seem logical.
Right.
And this is super important when it comes to helping kids who are being abused or neglected.
Harlow's work really made us rethink our ideas about love and attachment, didn't it?
It really did.
It wasn't just about warm, fuzzy feelings anymore.
Yeah.
It was a basic need built into us that drives our behavior in ways we might not even realize.
Absolutely. And his work goes way beyond childhood, too.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Harlow helped us understand how important social connections are throughout our whole lives.
Okay.
His research showed that monkeys raised in isolation, they developed all sorts of problems.
Like what kind of problem?
They were withdrawn, anxious.
Yeah.
And a lot of them couldn't form healthy relationships.
So it wasn't just that they were lonely.
No.
It actually messed up their development.
Exactly. And this connects to what we know today about how bad social isolation is for humans. It's not just unpleasant. It's actually harmful.
Right.
It can hurt our brains, weaken our immune systems, and even make us more likely to get sick.
It makes you wonder, in today's world where we're always connected online,
Right.
are we really getting the kind of deep connections that our brains and bodies need?
That's a really good question.
We might have tons of virtual friends and followers, But are we truly connected?
Right. Like, are those connections enough?
Harlow's work is like a reminder that virtual interactions can't fully replace real face-to-face connections.
Totally.
We need that physical touch, that
Yeah.
shared experience, that feeling of belonging that comes from being with other people. It's kind of like we're in this weird situation where we're like more connected than ever with all this technology.
But there's like this huge problem with loneliness.
Right.
And Harlow's work, it's like, it's saying that this lack of like real deep connection,
Yeah.
it's not good for us.
It really isn't. And you know what's interesting is that Harlow didn't just study the bad stuff that happens when you're isolated.
Oh, really?
He also looked at how powerful it is to reconnect.
Okay.
He saw that even those monkeys that were alone for a long time, with the right kind of care and support, they could learn to form bonds and get over that early trauma.
So like they could heal.
Yeah, it's like proof of how strong the primate brain is.
Wow.
And maybe even more so the human spirit.
Right.
We're really good at healing, at connecting, and finding love, even when it seems impossible.
It's pretty amazing.
It is, and I think that's like one of the most important things that came out of Harlow's work.
How so?
It's not just a warning about what happens when we're deprived.
Right.
It also gives us hope. It reminds us that love and connection, they can change our lives no matter what we've been through. So, like, where does this leave us?
Good question.
If baby monkeys need more than just the basics,
Right.
What does that tell us about how humans experience love?
It makes us think about love as more than just a feeling.
Okay.
Like it's a basic need, something that drives us. It's about finding those connections that make us feel safe and secure and understood.
Yeah.
It's about making those bonds stronger, the ones that bring us joy and give us the courage to explore.
It's about knowing that we're not supposed to be alone.
Exactly. We're meant to connect.
Uh-huh.
And those connections with family, friends, romantic partners, even our communities,
Right.
they're super important for us to be happy and healthy.
And it's not just about being loved. It's
Right.
about giving love, too.
Exactly. It's about making time for those moments.
What kind of moments?
You know, like laughing together, having real conversations, doing nice things for each other.
Yeah.
Those things that make our bonds stronger and feed our souls.
This deep dive, man, it's taken us from baby monkeys and their cloth moms to a whole new understanding of how important love and connection are in our lives.
We've explored the science behind our need for comfort,
Right.
the evolutionary roots of attachment,
Yeah.
and how Harlow's work has changed how we think about kids' parenting and even like the complicated parts of relationships.
But this isn't the end.
No.
Keep thinking about these questions.
Yeah.
Look at how connection plays a part in your own life.
Uh-huh.
And look for those moments of love, big and small.
Yes.
The ones that make your heart happy.
Remember that need for love and connection. It's a part of who we are.
Yeah.
It's what makes us human. It's what makes us search for meaning and purpose and belonging in the world.
It's definitely something worth holding on to and taking care of.
Absolutely, throughout our whole lives.
Well, until next time.
Yeah.
Happy diving.